Time flies. I don't know about you, but for me, Rosh Hashanah just happened. And then Hanukkah, suddenly. And now we are so close to Purim. And then Pesach. And then what? Shavuot. Oh. The 4 weeks before Pesach, all Shabbat services have special names. And when you come for the service tomorrow morning, you will see that it has double name. It's not only our usual way of calling Shabbatot after the Torah portion we read, but it has a special name in addition, Shabbat Shkalim. Its name comes from the word shekel. You might be familiar with it because it is modern Israeli currency, shekel. Like many currency measures, it originates from an ancient unit of weight. So 1 shekel, it's about 9 grams. It's not a large amount. So for this Shabbat, there is an additional Torah reading that some synagogues add after the weekly Torah portion. And in this case, it comes from the Exodus 30, chapter 30. It describes a census in which every Israelite contributed half a shekel of silver to support worship in the tent of meeting. So it is not really voluntary. It is a compulsory donation for every adult to bring 4.5 grams of silver to the temple. So that it's today, in today's measures, it's roughly 7 pounds. Why I'm telling you this? It's important to understand, when you read the Torah, you say half a shekel, and you need to understand, is it a lot or it's not so much? In this case, it is not very high amount. The Torah says, the rich shall not pay more, and the poor shall not pay less than half a shekel. And this is how it looks. It's a little coin, and we know from archaeology that they produced coins of half a shekel. It's a tiny coin. It's an equivalent of our probably 1 pound, maybe less than 1 pound coin. So many Torah commentators take this phrase, the rich shall not pay more, the poor shall not pay less than half a shekel. They focus on this phrase and they conclude that the Torah emphasizes equality. It is that every individual contributes equally to the community, and that helped foster a sense of unity crucial to the new nation born in the desert after the exodus from Egyptian slavery. So they use this passage to argue that Judaism is for equality, for all, regardless of people's income, origin, or position in society. Is it fair, we might ask, that everybody contributes the same? And I do think that on some level, it's a beautiful message of unity. It is a sort of a leveling up agenda in the Torah. But I think there is more to it. And our calendar provides us with a commentary on in itself. I think there are circumstances where we must treat everyone the same, but not always. And here is why I think the calendar provides a nuance to this conversation. Shabbat Shkalim takes place just a few weeks before Purim. Purim's story has another example of treating everybody the same, but this time with a negative outcome. Haman, the villain of the story, the villain of the Megillat Esther, of the book of Esther, the person in power, expected everyone to bow down to him. A Jew called Mordechai refused to bow, and Haman was furious. Instead of punishing just this one person who didn't bow to him, Haman decided to destroy all Jewish people in Persia. He treated all Jews equally, thinking that one person represents the entire nation. So perhaps Purim's story introduces a balance, a nuance to the concept of equality. Treating everybody the same is not always the best solution. Sometimes it may lead to negative generalization or unfair results. Few years ago, I came across with this illustration. If you give everyone the same, it will not necessarily lead to an equal good result to all. What we can see here, there are three people of different height. And you give everybody the same box to stand on to look over the fence, and it does not lead to an equally good result to all. Sometimes you need to distribute resources unequally, although it might raise a few objections and questions. It demonstrates the points very well. There are situations when it is unfair to require equal treatment for everyone. Equality is about sameness of inputs. Equity is about achieving fairness in opportunity and perhaps dignity in outcomes. The tension between equality and equity is real because equity often requires targeted help. And it can appear unequal, or it is unequal, to those who see only the distribution, not the full picture. As a Jewish community, as a society, do we have to be neutral? Do we need to make sure that everyone is happy and receives the same portion? Or do we have an obligation to give more to those who need the most? One of the most repeated commandments in the Torah is the insistence to protect the widow, orphan, and stranger. These are the categories of people that represents the most vulnerable, those who don't have anyone else to protect them. It's precisely a rejection of neutrality, because neutrality and so-called objectivity often ignores the most vulnerable. A society can be formally fair, objective, treat everyone equally, yet still be morally negligent if it ignores unequal starting points. The Jewish task, therefore, is to hold both truths at once. The truth of Shabbat Shkalim, with its equal minimal contribution, and the story of Purim, with its reminder that equality often ignores the genuine need of the most vulnerable. Our task is to insist on equal human dignity and a sense of belonging, while also practicing equity, giving more where the need is greater, so that our values are not only proclaimed, but also lived. Shabbat Shalom.